So based that's why regarding EVgray, I will show you this is, let's say, the motor of EVgray. That's why there is a problem. There's some disadvantage on it. This is the stator. This is how stator coil, and this is the rotor coil. A little bit off, it's not totally aligned on referring pulse. It should be like that. So the direction will be like this. Once he files it on this, let's say he has some 7 kb. Once the coil position on this side, all will move, to this direction, and that's repelling against each other. This will start to off. This is on position, this is off position. That where the back EMF will appear. So this back EMF, you can have back EMF whether your duration of pulse short or long. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking. Based from my experience, let's say this is the whole cycle of 60 Hertz. Example that the whole cycle of 60 Hertz. This one, the whole 60 cycle load will cost you 16.6 milliseconds. So this one, the time will be 8.3 milliseconds. The back EMF needed to become relative to the ambient must be, based from experience, I don't know from the other, 0.05 milliseconds. This should be the speed. That's where you can dance with along with the back with the ambient. That must be the speed. So the EVgray motor, I bet, I don't know if, but I bet, I believe he ran it. I strongly believe he has a self-sustained motor, but he must set up this motor to attain that one into very high speed first. High speed running, it means something like 4,000 RPM to get this back EMF time of duration. So he need, but it's not on the picture. I don't know, maybe somebody can tell me that he used starting high speed motor to reach this back EMF, because what will happen once he get this back EMF, his capacitor that is connected, and this is the way it was connected, and this is the coil from the I'm not saying it's 7,000 volts, it's 7,000 the supply. It will go jump like mine. It will become times 10 or times 15. So this one will go minimum of 30,000 volts. So the first pulse will be 7,000 volt equal to 7 kb, but the second one, that's the combined with ambient and the power from the 7 kb, will go minimum of 30,000 volt. That's a more powerful than the 7 kb. That's what I expect, but I'm really surprising. Unfortunately, until now, no one have able to run that duplicate. the thing. You know, because look, there is a connection here. This is his connection. There is a switching here. This is the switching, but it's in the form of tube. There is some switching as well here, but it doesn't matter. It's just some timing of switching. And this is the fixed spark gap. This is after charge to 30 or minimum 30,000 volts. Minimum of 30,000 volts. This will jump here. But once it jump here, it will activate. It will create a extreme magnetic flux here, like mine, you know. But it's must be this at this state. It will, once it's refilled here at this state, it will become an antenna. This coil will become an antenna by using the back EMF at 0.05 milliseconds. That start to become antenna based from my experience. So on this side, this coil will become antenna at this position, at this angle. So it, before it come here on this side, let's say it will be on this position very near. I will advance a little bit to become an attraction. This is will on again, but it should be attraction. It will be based from the high voltage charge on this capacitor. So it will attract. And this is this side will be the refilling, and this attraction so powerful, and I believe it's more than 30,000 volts because of the combination of back EMF and then the ambient. And like what I can tell, this on this side at the opposition, the coil will become an antenna. But he must make this motor run at very high speed. So what is the disadvantage if this is set up? And that's, I believe, what's happened on his motor. Until now, no one duplicated it. Look, if you load it, if you load the motor like genset, car that keep changing the required torque, you cannot run this because you need a steady. Let's say genset, you run a motor like air condition, and like in a company there's a lot of motor. It's switching off, on, off, on. You will not maintain this 0.05 milliseconds because here there is a window only 0.0 milliseconds to more or less 0.02 milliseconds. That's the window of your back. More on that, the ambient is not visible anymore. So it must be precise. So if he load it using like for car, I think that's impossible based from my analysis. Somebody can correct me. Now I believe his system will not work on actual application because of difficulty of maintaining this to get to harness the ambient. Look, until now, not like my technology, whether it's low, high, it doesn't matter. Because I can get always this 0. milliseconds to 0.02 milliseconds at whatever. It doesn't. I'm not depending on the angle. Okay? That's it. That's my own interpretation, and I hope you understand what I mean. I believe if they give me this motor, I can run it. But I must couple it. This is the motor of EVgray. I must couple it with something like AC motor with 3,600 RPM. And that's the time I can start to reach this 0.05. Or maybe I will put the sprocket here. If I can test it very easily, I can put the sprocket here and then chain it into a smaller sprocket in case I'm short of. This is AC motor, so I can speed until I reach this 0.05 to 0. milliseconds. So I can increase the RPM up to 4,000 to 6,000 RPM. Okay, that's my own interpretation, and I think it is quite near because based from my experience. So thank you.